All right, here we are, guys. Quick shave with Leviathan. Gillette Silver Blue, B23 from Zenith, and Fine Accoutrements World's Finest Razor, a stainless steel razor that's new from them. And the Gillette Silver Blue is one that I have not yet tried in this razor, so that's why it is on the schedule for today. It's brand new, hasn't been used. I wanted to, when I try new razors with new blades, my preference is to try a brand new or close to new blade, you know, less than 5 uses, something like that. I will sometimes try a marathon blade on one just to see how it works. This does have those sticky dots and stuff, but on the GSB, it's in the 4 corners instead of some of the other razors where it's kind of a couple in the middle. Some people take the time to wash those off with like hot water and a Q-tip or something like that. I'm just going to go for it. I really like this razor. It performs well. Stainless steel, so it's going to last. The handle's a little plain. The head is, I think, very attractive. I like the performance of the head as well. I'm getting very good shaves with a good number of blades. Leviathan is leather, coffee, and sandalwood. And this might even be one of the first premium grade soaps that I ever purchased. I bought it off Amazon, I'm almost certain. And let me get my face wet. So this is I don't use it nearly as much as I might want to. I kind of wish I could shave like twice a day or something. And since it's been so long, let's lather for like 40 seconds. I'm going to shake out. This is a pretty stiff boar, so it should pick up lather pretty well. All right, 40 seconds from 30 is rolling around right there. And so that means we'll go to the 10 mark on the next minute. The tips on this brush are nice and soft, and so that helps me to be able to enjoy using it, even though the backbone of the shafts of the bristles is still quite firm. 10 more seconds. And we've got plenty of water going on here. It's not pasty at all. We definitely have some bubbles. And that's 40. All right, I'm going to wash off the sides of the tub. Not really going to bother pausing you guys because I'm kind of in a bit of a rush today. Had an accident yesterday. My hand is all swollen right here. It's reduced from yesterday. A drunk driver crossed the center line, hit me and my kids in our car, and if he would have been a foot more to the left or something, it would have been more like a head-on, and people could have really gotten hurt. But this hurt hand, and it's tough for me to grab things at the moment, but I'm sure it's something that will go away after a week or something like that. So I consider us blessed. But he is not going to be happy for a while because the police were obviously called, and he hit somebody else after he hit us, drove them off into a ditch. It was quite difficult for me to keep control of the car and pull off to the side of the road. He shattered my tire, and that was for a car that we were about to purchase. We were borrowing it from a friend, and so obviously I'm glad my friend had insurance. We were about to buy it. And the sad part is, I mean, I'm pretty sure the insurance is going to help him to recoup his, costs. He was going to sell it anyway, but but he was going to give it to us for a good deal, and so we lost out on that good deal for a good car. But we are a faith-based family, and we just believe that all things happen for the good of those who love God, and that's us. And so we'll just, wait for the good thing to see hopefully we'll see the good things that come out of it. Sometimes we don't always, right? But we were kind of camping this week, and we were on our way to take down the campsites, and now I've got to take time off work to go and handle that during the daytime instead of in my off hours. So try to make this a quick shave. As usual, the glissant base is just tremendous. I mean, look how awesome it looks. It's slick. We've got 2 teaspoons in it. Let's go ahead and put 3. And then at the same time, dealing with kids who are at home in school. Interrupted all the time. Trying to keep them on track. They're young, so they're not really as focused on keeping up with where they're supposed to be. Always got to be on them to make sure they're in class and doing whatever assignment they need. All right, this leather's looking pretty soft as I am moving it around with a brush, and so I'm going kind of by feel here, and can always add a little bit of water if I need to after the fact. So get my face wet. Yeah, backbone. Still very strong with this one. Now, what's going on here is that maybe the bottom 50% of the shaft is just super strong. And so I'm not getting more than maybe a 50%, splay with this brush, but the tips are soft. And so they're what's bending in maybe the first quarter or the first third of the bristle. And so it's almost like a short and scrubby brush at this point, but that is something that's going to change. It's still a young brush, and that's why I brought it on my trip here so that I could put some more uses on it. I'm so glad Buzz chimes in every once in a while to let me know how his own version of this brush is doing. He got the blue one, so I think it's called the B29, and this one's the B23. Good scent. I love leather and sandalwood. I'm not as nuts about coffee, but it works with these scents. Barrister and Mann had a redesign of the label for for the Excelsior release, when he released it in Excelsior, and it was this 4 pointy-headed dragon thing, and then it had berries or holly leaves around it, and it just looked really weird. Will, the creator of the brand, did not get a very good response from that artwork. It really looked kind of Christmassy because of the use of red and green, and it was kind of artistically drawn by, in appearance, it just didn't look like a quality, experienced person did the artwork. And so he acknowledged that people did not like that particular label, and so he did change it actually within the last couple of months. He actually polled the public. He had people I think it's really cool what he did. He had people vote and had people actually submit candidates, submit ideas, and submit like professional drawings. They had to be a graphic artist and they had to submit it in the appropriate, you know, vector type file and all those cool things. And we got to vote on it. And you get to pick like your top three. And sure enough, the one he chose was one that I had thought was a nicer one. And so I'm really happy with the looks of it. But since I've got this tub right here, I don't really need to buy another one. Although I really like the artwork on the new one. Now, is it the Soft Hearts base? I'm not sure. I think maybe it's still Excelsior. But don't quote me on that. Rinse time. And so he's got a nice attractive label for Leviathan this time. And he had very good reasons for picking, and let's just call it the ugly design. And I said so, but I tried to be nice. At the time when that one was released, I actually maybe said something, the other one, you know, I said something like, is this some kind of, you know, practical joke? But I tried to be kind because, I mean, I've talked to Will online and he's been very helpful and he's just a great guy. So, I mean, you don't want to, you know, be unkind and slam the guy. So I try to be objective in terms of, well, I don't think this one looks very good, you know. So I tried to be nice about it. And he did have a reason for it. There's some symbolism in the those little poinsettia plants or holly berries or whatever was behind the monster were definitely symbolic of what he was trying to achieve with that scent, or with the time of year or something. But I just don't think it translated well. And of course, Leviathan is a monster. And I don't think it helped that the monster's head was in a shape of 4 points. It was like a cone coming out as the cheeks, and then a beard like a velociraptor might have or something, and then a pointy thing coming off the top. And so it looked like a Christmas star, really. And so I think it was just one of those times where a design was really good in his mind, and maybe as he was looking at it with filtered eyes, because he knew the symbolism, he knew what things were supposed to represent, and he knew the whole point and the content, but people looking at it for the first time don't know any of that, and so we just base our opinion on appearance. I think I pretty much hit this lather on the head with a nice, the ratio I think is just perfect. I'm getting a creamy feel. The rinses are super slick, very enjoyable. And see, this guy is staying so close together. I need to pump some of the lather up into the middle of him, see, like that. And that really helps the feel and all that. It'll improve. Got to just give it some more uses. But so I've just lathered up for the third time, and this is what I have. And I think that's pretty much perfect. So if I were using this soap every day, I bet I wouldn't have to load for 40 seconds. Probably 30 or even 25, you know, because it'll retain just a touch of moisture, be easier to load on subsequent uses. All right. Yeah, that's just wonderfully slick. At this ratio, one of the penalties about having lathers as wet as I do is I don't use as much product. And while often that is a good thing, when you want to appreciate the scents, a lot of times a maker will not make the scent strong enough, because perhaps they are making it for people who they know are overloading, you know, and they want to make sure they smell it, or maybe they just want to make sure the Ratios of the scent oils don't overwhelm people or cause irritation. Cross grain, I'm going the opposite direction now. And this is a wonderful blade and razor match. Tremendous. Rarely at this point can I take that stroke and have it be that comfortable. And so this is a really good match for my skin. Will it be great for you? Can't tell. It's just the way blades and razors are. And that lather got a little kind of pasty at the end, but that's all right. No big deal. I can just add some water if I needed to, but I didn't really. So this is a tremendous soap. I still have it on my face. Haven't really rinsed it off from the third pass. I'm not getting any dryness, anything like that. I have oily skin anyway, so I kind of have a little bit of an advantage there. But I had to step away for a second. And if you're not really enjoying the scent of your soap because maybe it's a little bit too light, it could be because you've gotten used to it. And if step out of where you are, the bathroom or whatever, smell something else out there. Even if it's just the air, and then step back in, and you're likely to get a much newer whiff of what you've been in, and you can enjoy it. So I think the handle might be the weak design point in terms of the razor, not in performance at all. It performs flawlessly. When it's dry, it might feel a little bit too raspy, but I bet that will calm down over time as the little points of the knurls wear down just a little bit, and I think that would be all it would take. But that raspiness disappears when you're using the razor, because when things get wet, things like that, when it gets soapy, you will not drop this razor because of your grip, that you will hold on to it. It's comfortable to hold on to. I like the thickness. It's got a little bit of girth to it, but it's still easy to spin, to be able to switch sides with the razor. And it's weighted really nicely. The balance point here is right about there. And so obviously I think what we've got is a hollow area over here near where this maybe ferrule comes in, or maybe if it's one solid piece, which it may very well be, then maybe they drilled in a little bit farther, which changed the weight. But when combined with the head, I think it's weighted just perfectly, and it's easy to use. And I think it's a really nice razor. If I was stuck with this razor on desert island, or if some thief came and stole all my razors and I was never able to buy any more, I would be happy with this one. And kind of like the Wolfman Gorilla, that people just thought it didn't look all that great. I appreciated it. The timeless bronze is very clunky looking, and I kind of appreciated the underdog aspects of some of these designs, and so I think it looks okay. But here's the only other problem I have with this razor. For a $165 razor, I think maybe it doesn't look as okay as it should be. And I think that maybe that's a price it's competitive with a stainless carve with one plate. It's competitive in that regard, but the carve just looks so much better, and it offers a bunch of plates to choose from to add on. And this one doesn't yet. Maybe more plates are coming. That's possible. And so I don't think it needs to be priced right at the stainless carve level at this point. It's just my personal opinion. And so it's maybe priced a little bit high. And that's my only issue with it. But otherwise, it functions very well. Performance is really good. It's right at this sweet spot with so many blades where the second and third passes are cutting nicely, but very smooth, comfortable, but it's got enough aggression for my beard at least, and for my shaving style, for my lathering style. It's got enough aggression to easily take down multiple days of growth, and so you've got that part, the aggression to do the job, and then the comfort, and it marries those two very well. So to me, it's a very capable, very high-performing razor that I would enjoy if I needed to. So here's the splay pattern on this brush after today's shave. We are seeing more gradually, more and more bristles coming out to the side here. And it's really funny, when I finished stropping it, a lot of this middle stuff here was really focused and staying in the middle, and it was just the outliers. And I'm the one who kind of spread it out a little bit, not really to increase the splay, but to increase water evaporation, to increase the flow through of air, to make sure that the brush dries well. So gradually it's starting to open up. And yeah, just like Buzz says, maybe at about 30 uses, something like that, it may be very different than it has been for the first 15. Man, this has been a year for me in vehicles. My Buick overheated and cylinder cracked, and so it wasn't, the cost wasn't worth the cost of the vehicle, even though it gave me many miles. So I mean, in a sense, it's good, but we were hoping to give me a little bit more. It died. Then a kind family member loaned me a van, which I had to have towed twice. Once for brake issues, and another one because the people who fixed the brake issues messed up a wheel bearing, and so had to have it towed again when the wheel bearing failed, and that was all in the course of like 2 months, I think. And then we found a friend who had a car they were wanting to get rid of, and it just got wrecked yesterday. So the 2020 has been a crazy month for vehicles for me. I am still picking up the scent of the sandalwood and coffee. I kind of wish the woody notes were a little bit stronger with this soap, but it's okay. It's really nice to me. I think there are people who don't like it all that much, but coffee is a very dominant note because it's easy to pick out. It's very noticeable. It's discernible. It's familiar to people. The leather is there, but backed off a little bit from the coffee, and I think it and the sandalwood are kind of in the background, but definitely there. Maybe you might consider it maybe 40% coffee and 30-30 leather and sandalwood. Maybe that might be, or maybe slightly more in favor of the coffee, but I think you get my point. Let's just see if Executive Mann has some notes that are complimentary enough. It's not lingering on my face, the Leviathan. It's not lingering on my face a lot, and so I know we're not going to have any conflicts, but sometimes it's nice to have a good transition from one scent to another instead of a full shift. So no issues with razor burn today, a comfortable shave and a close one. Let's check it out. Yeah, really nice close shave. And there we go. I do, and I also need to use up this balm. I've had it for a while. That's another reason to choose it, right? Okay, well there we go. A great shave with the razor. It's a quality razor, and anybody who ends up with it is gonna, I think, be happy in general, as long as they know that it's not super aggressive. But for me, it's perfectly aggressive. It takes down any hair I need it to, but it's still smooth and comfortable doing it. And so I think it does hit a nice sweet spot. I think it's a great design. And all the blades that I've tried it in, except maybe the feather, were terrific, as far as I can recall. Feather was a little more touchy. Now, maybe if you use that feather about 10 times and then put it in the razor, it could be a very different story. I was thinking about taking the feather that I have maybe about 60 uses on, putting it in this razor just to see what it would do. I think that'd be cool. May do that next if I can remember. So, happy with the shave today. The brush, I can tell it's getting better. The core, like I said, the bottom third, probably the bottom third of these bristles are not moving very much at all. And so it's just these tips that are flexing at the moment. I don't know that this I mean, I think it'll take a while for this bottom third to start moving. But you see where these guys are bending right here? That's perfect. I'm fine with that. I think that'll be great. And the tips are already really soft, so it is an enjoyable shave right now. But it's just going to be so much better once this core part, and it's so dense. It's got a lot of bristles in there, and that's part of the issue as well. It's going to take a while for all that density to relax. So, looking forward to what this brush has in store for me in the future. I think that's it for today. And due to the accident yesterday, the kids' teachers I just got a message in, have decided to just let them have a day off and let them rest and relax and kind of recover. They were, pretty shaken up yesterday, but they handled themselves pretty well on the site until their mom got there. And I'm proud of them. And so I think it's good for them to have a little break today. So that's good. All right, guys. Shave went really well today, in all respects. So I'm happy there. And I'm glad my hand didn't really bother me too much. I tried to keep it elevated a lot. Big old purple lump. You can kind of see the swelling right here. Like here's my normal hand. But it was a whole lot worse yesterday. So I'm really happy that is diminishing without very much pain. I'm able to move and things like that. For those of you who care and pray, thank you for maybe praying for us. I appreciate that. All right, guys. We'll see you next time. And Leviathan was a great thing today, continuing with my Barrister and Mann, since I've kind of been stranded at this location, and that's just a tub that I pulled out and decided, hey, let's just do some Barrister and Mann shaves this week and enjoy those, because it is a wonderful scent profile on so many of those soaps. You guys take care, and this is Sugar Daddy Shaves. Have a good day.